Good morning. Round one of stem cells is done. Everything went great. Round two is tomorrow, and then round three on Monday. So I was talking to my daughter, Katie, last night, and she was talking about how the CIA has now come out and said how much they use meditation and visualization. And we talked about this guy, Mark Divine. And if you have never looked up Mark Divine, you should check him out. We had the pleasure of seeing him speak live, and he now speaks at mini Tony events. He's considered one of the best Navy SEALs that the country has ever trained, and now he trains Navy SEALs, and he uses all of those techniques in helping people in their personal lives and in business. He went through a whole process with us that the Navy SEALs do every day. They do a morning routine, shocker, and it's a meditation routine, and they do box breathing, which is very similar to the breathing that I showed you that we do, but it's an inhale for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, hold for 5, inhale for 5, and you do this rotation of box breathing. And as they do this, they visualize themselves completing their outcomes, whatever it is that they're going to do, but also incanting the qualities that they possess personally and as a Navy SEAL. And this is part of their morning routine and morning meditation. He credits meditation more than anything with the ability of the Navy SEALs now to accomplish the outcomes that they do. CRT training has become the top level training. If you think about it, you don't hear about Green Berets all that much anymore. You don't hear about what's the other discipline? Marine Recon. You hear about the CRT, the Navy SEAL training. It has become the elite fighting force training program in the world. And he says that meditation and the breathing and the visualization is what's made the difference. It isn't some sort of obstacle course or some sort of tactical approach. It isn't some sort of shooting range. It's how they create this identity through the power of visualization and breathing and meditation each morning to become the person that they are supposed to be. That's how they look at it, becoming the most of who they are supposed to be. And remember, we talked about that, the standards that these folks live by. I mean, their standards are just off the charts, right? Anybody in the Marines, anybody in CRT training, Green Berets, Recon, I mean, they live by an incredibly high standard. And later in life, coffee's done, later in life, they will always look back at that period of time with the greatest fondness. And what do I mean by that? I mean, they'll look at that period of time, even if they were in active combat, as the greatest days of their life. Well, why is that? Even if you were in active combat, why would you look at that as the greatest days of your life? Well, there's a community, there's a camaraderie that they get to participate in, which we now know that community and the feeling of being part of a community that supports you and that you're part of can be as important in anything as creating a long and happy life. But the other thing is they lived by such high standards. When they were living by those super high standards, they were the most of who they were supposed to be, and that's where they're the most proud of themselves. And they were proud of themselves because they were part of this group that did something bigger, and they went beyond their comfort zone. They went beyond what they thought was personally possible and reached new heights every day. When they were growing and when they were achieving new goals and when they were expanding themselves, going beyond their comfort zone is when they were most happy and they were most proud of their life. Many times when they leave that environment, because who you surround yourself with is who you become, many times when they leave that environment, they don't live by the same standards, and subsequently they're not as proud of themselves in terms of how they're living their life. So they look back on those days and say, those were the greatest days of my life because I lived at such high standards. Lessons for all of us to think about in terms of how we're going to live our life from this day forward. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.